Yo, what's up guys? So I'm going to be explaining inverse fair value gaps in this video. Really basic this is going to be a confluence another step closer to developing my entire strategy. This is one part of it. And yeah, this is going to be I'm just going to be explaining it. Showing you guys the live examples in real charts. And yeah, I'm just gonna, Now, another thing that I would like to say is that remember, these conferences are not used alone, they're used in combination, part of a system, a model, a strategy, whatever you call it, all together, not just by itself. So, this right here, as you guys can see, is an up move. If you watch my previous video, you understand what fair value gaps are. If you already know what they are, good for you. What I see in the middle right here is literally a fair value gap. Again, if you don't understand how it works, go see the other one. So we have a gap, bang, right? We see it right here. So what's an inverse gap? Bro, it's literally so simple and basic. A closure under a gap. So a normal fair value gap we tap into and then tap out of it in the direction that we want our trade to continue going and in the direction of our overall bias. In this case, an inverse fair value gap is a closure under opposed, like going the opposing direction of our bias, right? So if we're bullish, we want it to close under. And this is what marks a market shift, a shift in trends. So we went from being bullish to now we are bearish because we've closed below this and we have confirmed that, and we have sharply went, in one move lower. And yeah, I'll get more into why exactly it happens, but I'll show you how it works and then why it works, right? So we have, this is a bearish example right here, okay? It's the same thing flipped around where we simply have a down move here, and then what do you see in the middle of this? The fair value gap, right? These two things don't touch. Again, if we're bearish, a normal fair value gap, we want to see price tap into this and then close bearish lower towards our bias. But in this case, if we want to use an inverse fair value gap, we expect the market to close above this, a big green candle like this, to then indicate a market shift. Okay, so really basic stuff. Now I'm going to get into the charts and show you guys examples right here. So let's get right into it. On the 1 hour time frame, we see, I'll go previous here. All right, I'll go right here. So, all right, this is an awesome example. Okay, another thing I would like to add, because remember, sometimes there are some like nuances and some like little things, to keep in mind, okay? Number one, not always are always going to hit. Not always. We have, you need to have like different systems and confirmation stuff in place, maybe on different time frames and stuff, to determine whether this one is going to hit, if it's going to play out, or if it won't actually play out, right? So in this case, and then the second thing that I would like to add is that fair value gaps, like I said, once they've been tapped into once, you disregard them, right? Because then this zone is balanced. But for inverse fair value gap, for inverse fair value gaps, you continue regarding them, even if they tap into multiple times. All we care about is the break above, right? So yeah. So for example, in this case, we had this gap. You close this, we close down, but again, still the next candle, we close sharply above it, invalidating this, and then as you guys can see, in turn, cause price to continue much higher. Right. Another example we have is going to be right about, bro, there's so many, bro, this is spotted in the markets like crazy. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys a failed example. Again, this could be successful because remember, we're on the 1 hour time frame. This could still be a successful example, but like you guys can see the 1 hour close here. We still did end up going lower, but what did we do? We ended up going lower. Now I'm going to refer to the other confluences, filling in equilibrium, filling in fair value gap, all that stuff, and then in turn it went higher. But I'm just showing you, this didn't work right here. Now, what did work, you might ask, right? That's a great question. What did work is this, where we see price, fair value gap, closure below, it continues going way lower, okay? Remember, wicks count. It's not just the body. What else did work? That's a great question. Let's go back into right here. We have a fair value gap right here. Right? Like, bro, an inverse fair value gap is literally just like it's like a fair value gap. Like, it's pretty much the exact same thing. But they are different though. So don't think they're the same thing. They're entirely different things. One is in your direction, the other isn't, right? And they signal different things. So in this case, we have a bullish fair value gap. It gets closed below bearish candle, and then in turn causes price to go lower. Now, because remember here we were bullish and then we flipped directions. Now another thing I would like to add is it doesn't matter the color of these three candlesticks. Like it doesn't matter. We don't care about if this is black, if this is white, if this like we don't care if it's an up or down move that creates the fair value gap or after. All we care about is we have a gap, whether it gets and we care about in this case if it gets closed below, right? Another example right here is going to be this right here. This is a fair value gap. It gets closed above, and then we go up. This is a bearish it's a bearish one. We inverse it, and we go down, and then another name for inverse is like invalidate it, right? Because kind of makes sense why it would be invalidated. So yeah, those are going to be the examples for that one. Now I'm gonna give you guys with the short like a definition, all that stuff, all right? Wait, not a definition, like why it works. Okay, so I'm gonna low-key be honest. I went and searched it up. It's literally that simple. I don't have anything else to tell you. The other thing is another name can be inversion fair value gaps. Like, bro, it's all the same stuff. But remember, very simple confluences. Each of them are pretty simple. Maybe some are a little bit harder, but simple yet very effective if used properly. So with that, I'm gonna leave you guys to if you guys want to rewatch the video and then better understand anything that you have not understood previously, in watching this video. Comment if you want, any recommendations, any questions, and I'll answer that. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.